But before we talk about the future, let's talk about the present. I do believe we have BoostIsSuccess, the victorious AD carry of the all-pro teams, waiting for an interview. And here he is now. Boost, congratulations on the win. How are you and your teammates feeling? How did that series feel in general against AOE God Squad tonight?
To be honest, it was a little bit more tough than we were expecting, I think. I thought things were going to go a lot easier, but I'm so glad that we pulled out the 3-0.
Okay, certainly a 3-0. Definitely wasn't a stomp all 30 games, but honestly, you guys in the critical moments, making the right calls, making things work. I got to ask about the AD carry. It's all about this matchup. We streamed, or put it on the forefront throughout the evening. Matchup into Paxax. You messaged me earlier. You thought you were better than him in every stat column. The stats may not agree with you, but damn if I'm not agreeing with you now. Were you actually that confident going in, or was that something you just wanted on air?
To be honest, I mean, I'm a pretty confident guy, so I think I'm the best AD carry in the league. But to be fair, I missed the first week of matches and 2 weeks due to forfeits. So I think stats are not all that they could be.
Okay.
Plus, we also had like a roster swap like halfway in. But I think our team is really solid now.
Yeah, the team did look very solid, and you mentioned a couple of roster swaps. We had another one tonight. You had a different support than you did last week. Alex was out. Sightstone was in. How was it getting used to the new laning partner? Because it looked very, very good in multiple games, 1 and 3 in particular. Some hiccups in the laning phase in game number 2, but we'll ignore those because the team fights kind of worked out. But how much time did you guys have to gel? And is this what we should expect from you two going forward?
So they play very similarly, so adjusting from one to the other wasn't very hard. We also had a couple of scrim games, so we got used to each other pretty quickly. He did kind of int our lane away game 2 a little bit, but it's okay. We learned from it.
Blame it on your support. It's a support difference. Every time it's never your fault.
If you pull up the VOD,
we were watching it live. We watched it go
exactly.
down. I'm sure it's him making the calls though, so we'll just toss it on him. He's not even here to defend himself, so who cares? Boost, I want to look forward for a moment. Obviously, you have a huge task ahead of you. Stingus was happy to join us on the desk. Probably doesn't want to give away too much if we do get to hear from him. I want to hear from you though right now. You're into Stingus for the game, but more importantly than that, you're into Who Flashed That Fight. You're into a former championship team in VBO. What is the team's thoughts? Have you guys given this any thought preemptively, or is it, come as you serve in terms of playoff matchups?
So when we played them last, we lost 1-2 to them, and then we did the whole roster swap, and I think we got a super huge upgrade in the jungle role specifically.
Yeah.
And I think Muscle's probably the best jungler in the whole tournament. I think if we had more weeks with him, he definitely would have been first team all-star. I think he's just gonna gap Who Flashed That Fight jungle, and it's not going to be close.
Wow, okay. Baka is the current first team all-pro jungler, so that might be the matchup to watch then next week, Boost. We'll be keeping our eyes on that one. I know Muscle has been looking very good since he did join and had some pretty solid games tonight. You guys look solid all around, so very excited to see how you do match up with Who Flashed That Fight next week. I do want to ask you, though, a little bit of a fun one here. We had you guys on a fight night card for your matchup tonight, and I asked the casters who would win in a fist fight. So who would actually win in a fist fight? You or Paxax?
I'm pretty much a pacifist when it comes to fighting, so I'd say him. I'd probably let him hit me.
Okay, very honest, very honest. We appreciate the answer there.
Oh, love it, man. Thanks so much, Boost. I appreciate you coming in for a quick little interview. I want to give you a chance, though. Shout out to anyone, teammates, coaches, staff, anyone that believed in you guys, or anyone that didn't believe you guys could win today. Anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, shout out to my whole team. I think we all knew that we were going to pull the 3-0 off today. But also shout out to my boys over at Glaive pulling the 3-0 at the same time. I used to be on a Glaive team way back when, so I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for them. I hope they do well.
Well, they're on the other side of the bracket. I can't actually let you go without saying this. I need you here. Thank God you reminded me. Predictions. Who are we getting in finals, please? Is it Glaive versus Sparta Prime? Is it who flashed that fight?
You know he's going to say Sparta Prime. Just ask him about the other matchup. Just ask him about the other matchup, Necrox.
Don't tell me about who flashed that fight. The other side, who's getting through to finals?
I think it's going to be us versus Glaive. They looked really dominant today, too. And when we played them, they were pretty good.
Okay, I appreciate it. We'll hold you to your words. Thanks, Boost, for coming in again. You go have a great rest of your night. Go celebrate until we see you next week.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Great words here from who knew? Boost was a pacifist. Doesn't actually like fighting. I wouldn't judge it by his gameplay. He's absolutely a psychopath on Samira, but in real life, he doesn't actually like to fight people. Good to know.
Also pretty sick at Valorant. If anyone has actually seen one of our Valorant tournaments, he's pretty dope for that game too. So a lot of kills for a man who is a pacifist, but does help his team go to a 3-0 victory tonight, and for the second time has given us a very lovely interview. So do want to thank Boost for coming on once again, and do hope that he and the squad have a good celebration tonight after a solid playoff victory here in the quarterfinals.
Certainly, I love to see it. I want to give my personal thanks, along with DJ, I'm sure, beside me, to everyone here behind the scenes. A massive crew helping run things tight, making sure things go smooth. And a big thank you to the players for putting on an excellent show. That'll just about wrap it up for us, DJ. I know I'm going to bed, but if you're not, you want to stay up, watch some more League of Legends, anything like that, make sure to head out.
Grind coffee.
Yes. You beat me to the punchline, man. Check out AM Grind. Get yourself a discount and get some good quality coffee. That'll do it for us, though, here on the desk. It was a pleasure being back with you, TJ, and we'll see you next week in the semifinals. See you then.